Hi, I'm Ann Battle from ISDA, and I'm here at the AGM with Tyler Wellensiek from Barclays and Stephen Berger from Citadel. We're going to talk about Treasury clearing. So Tyler, starting with you, we have just over 18 months until the SEC's clearing mandate comes into effect, and there are a number of challenges to be addressed, including documentation, operational integration, and capital issues. What do you see as the priorities?
Yeah, there are a lot of issues, so it's tough to pick a few short priorities, but I would say the biggest ones from our perspective are getting documentation done for clients that are not fully documented already. The operational issues with setting up new models and new types of doing business, such as segregated margin, new models such as ACS or potentially new CCPs. And finally, I would say pre-trade credit checks are a piece of work that's very foundational to the system.
Stephen?
So I think, for the industry as a whole, one of the biggest challenges we still need to solve for is ensuring that there are viable client clearing models for the buy side. So the biggest change we're really bringing about here is bringing the buy side into central clearing, certainly with repo and certain buy side market participants with respect to the cash markets as well. And so I think one of the challenges we still need to solve for is a clearing model that doesn't force clearing and execution to be bundled. So I think, part of that is some changes we still need to see with respect to FICC's rules. Obviously, CME and ICE coming in as new entrants is bringing good choice and competition to the market, and they are coming up with access models that are more akin to what we see in futures and swaps, where execution and clearing are bundled. So I think we need to see, that come to market because from a client perspective, you want the flexibility to execute with a broad range of counterparties, but the efficiencies of bringing all your clearing together with one or a handful of clearing members. I think there's also some adjacent issues that still need to be solved for the buy side. The inter-affiliate exemption, for example, is only available to banks and broker-dealers, and that's something that should probably be expanded to cover the buy side as well.
Great. And the SEC's mandate is a U.S. rule, but its impact will be global. Beyond clearing itself, how do you see the rule impacting the overall Treasury market?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I think how it will actually play out in terms of market functioning very much remains to be seen. There's some things that I think will be positives that we're already starting to see some measure of now. These include increased transparency for the regulatory sector, which will be very helpful in understanding aggregate risks. I think it also can help make the market more resilient in times of stress by not having balance sheet be a binding constraint. That said, I think there's always considerations and things to watch. So it is a more expensive way to get access to some of these markets. So what that will mean for how people think about different trading strategies and liquidity in the market remains to be seen. And we'll just have to see.
Stephen?
Yeah, look, I think if we can solve all the implementation challenges, if we can implement this correctly, I think there's a lot of upside for the market as a whole globally. So Tyler already referred to optimization of balance sheet, which should help, I think, increase intermediation capacity in the market. I think central clearing also promises to significantly reduce both operational and credit risk, and I think it also has the potential to unleash more innovation and competition in the market. I do think one thing that's not quite well understood globally at this point is still the extraterritorial scope of the mandate, for example. So I think there's still a lot of questions and clarity that are needed. But, for the most part, with respect to the cash treasury market, for example, the mandate doesn't really apply to the dealer to customer market. And that's something that I think is not necessarily well understood around the globe.
Great. Well, thank you, and thank you for listening.